So very well, you guys have read a lot. I'm impressed. So for today's session, we will be learning how to write basic C programs. But before we start, I'd like us to do some quick activity. I'll mention some random names. Stanley, if I ask you to direct somebody to the next door in your house or where you are studying from, how will you direct the person? What instructions will you give to the person?
I'll tell the person to get up, go forward, 10 right, go straight for 5 meters and 10 right.
Get up, go forward, open the door, 10 left.
The door is already open, actually.
The door is already open.
Yeah.
Oh, so if the person gets there and the door is locked, what should happen?
Okay, fine. You get up, go forward, open the door. If the door is closed, if the door is open, you just pass through. Then 10 right, then walk forward for a number of meters, then 10 right again.
And then the door will be open.
And if that door is open, you pass through. If it's closed, you turn the knob and enter. If it's locked, you call me for a key.
What if the instruction you give to the person goes to hit a wall? What should the person do?
He should come back one step and do everything again.
So how will you do all of that?
How would I do all of that? I'll make sure the person doesn't hit a wall in the first place.
You make sure the person doesn't hit a wall. Okay, JD's Aganda. If you send someone, for example, to the market to buy you your favorite food, how will you instruct the person?
Okay, where is that person first?
The person is in Ghana.
Anywhere. In Ghana.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Maybe let me just use from my place where I am.
Let's say the person is at this place. I forgot the name of the biggest slum in Kenya.
Kibera.
Kibera. The person is from Kibera.
Okay, so okay, so I'll tell the person to Google the nearest bus station and then get a matatu, which is like a trotro, to the nearest Naivas supermarket. Yeah. And then come back.
So the person will not come with your favorite food?
Oh, so I'd tell them to order, to get chicken and cook from there.
And
from the supermarket, yeah.
So what if the person goes there and then there's smoked chicken?
Okay, I tell them to just get it.
To just get it?
Yeah.
So if I get you, instruction number 1, Google the first bus stop. Instruction number 2, find a matatu going to some supermarket you mentioned. Instruction number 3, buy any chicken you see.
Yes.
Including live chicken. So what if the person is going in the matatu? Okay, what if the person is going and the matatu breaks down on the road? What should the person do?
Okay, if it breaks down, get out and get another one.
What happens if there's no matatu over there?
Come back, we shall go another day.
Pardon me?
I'll tell them to come back. We shall eat the chicken some other day.
All right. So interesting submissions from Stanley and then JD's. So if you notice the exercise we're trying to do, we are trying to instruct somebody who doesn't know what we have like at the back of our mind to do something, okay? And then we're assuming that the person's brain is blank. And then we are the ones telling the person to do this, to do that, to do this, and then to do that. So That is exactly what we are coming to do in programming. We are coming to tell a computer to do certain specific tasks that we are asking it to do. All right. And then to be able to do that, we are going to employ something called a programming language. And the programming language we are coming to use for this particular exercise is C. Is that clear? So C is just like the way you and I speak our normal languages. For example, when I want to say, how are you? I'll say F1 in my local language, or I'll say Etise in the Tree language, or I'll say Kwetem in Kasim. I'll say Amakuru in Kinyarwanda. I'll say Sasa in Swahili. I'll say Comment ça va in French. I'll say it in different languages, but I just mean the same thing. How are you? Is that clear? So with programming languages, we need to pay attention to two key things. The first one is the structure of the language, and the second one is the words that you are going to be using in the language that you are going to speak. Is that clear? All right. So every language has a structure, and then every language has the way you pronounce certain words in the language. Okay. The way you pronounce the words and then the naming of the words is called syntax. Okay, that's the syntax. If you want to learn any programming language, I highly encourage that one, learn the structure of the language. And then when you are done learning the structure of the language, you can be able to now learn the syntax. Is that clear? So personally, I tell myself that I can be able to write in any programming language, no matter what language it is, no matter whether it is in Russian, Chinese, whatever. The moment I know that this is the syntax of the language, the moment I know that this is the structure of the language, I should be able to program in that language. Is that cool? So we are coming to learn the main structure of a C program. After that, we will learn the basic syntax, and then we will be done for today. Now, we are going to be using something called a compiler. And then the type of compiler we are going to use will be online. And that compiler, you can find it on a website called onlinegdb.com. I have put it in the chat box. You can open it. When you are done opening it successfully, you can raise your hand. onlinegdb.com. Someone is asking how many languages I speak. I can say how are you in more than 50 languages, and then a few phrases in other languages. Okay, so when you are at onlinegdb.com, you can raise your hands, and then I will be able to see if you've successfully opened it. You'll see some black screen. Onlinegdb.com. 6 hands are raised. 10. Okay. Those who don't raise their hands are not participating, and I'll find a way to catch you. Let me take a screenshot. Everyone is raising their hand. I'll still catch you. Okay, so let's move on. You can drop your hands now. Okay, so one thing I like to say before we continue is I will not be teaching you C programming like the way I will teach computer scientists, okay? I'll be teaching you C programming like the way engineers learn C programming, okay? I'll try and then make you understand it very quickly and start writing your own code quickly instead of focusing on all the theories behind it, which will take a lot of time. So if I see that there is some terminology or some theory you need to understand, once we are typing the code, I will explain the terminology and then we can continue from there. Is that cool? Okay, so let's get to work. All right, can you see my screen once again?
Yes, please.
Fantastic. So when you take any C program, it is made up of 4 main building blocks. So here I am employing the use of block diagrams. The C language is made up of what? 4 main building blocks. All right. The first one is the preprocessor directives. Second one is the global variables. Third one is the main function. And then the fourth one is other functions. Okay. Let me explain all of them one after the other. Now, imagine that imagine that our class is a library. Introduction to Engineering class is a library, such that if I call Alfred Nunu will shout, Alfred Nunu, and be screaming around. And then if I call Stanley will just be crawling on the ground. And then if I call Jonathan Kashambi, sorry, the name is not very, Jonathan, the name like has been truncated. If I call Jonathan will be jumping into the air. Kweku Osafo will be rolling on the ground. Okay. Imagine that our class, those are the things that we have all been assigned to do. We can say that our class is a library, okay, such that if I call any of you, you'll be able to do whatever you want to do for me. You'll be able to do what you have been programmed to do for me. So at the end of the day, we can have something like intro class.h. The intro class.h will contain the definitions of our class, such that all those people will be doing all those things the moment they are called in our main code. Is that clear? Hafiz, AJ, do you have a question?
No, please.
Okay. So the preprocessor directives are also known as libraries or header files. Okay. Another example can be the stdio.h can be a basket of oranges, such that I can say chew red orange, chew yellow orange, give one orange to somebody, and all of those instructions can be contained in the basket full of what? Oranges. Is that clear? Now, at the beginning of your code, you need to add some comments or things that are in normal English language that somebody else can understand to show the person that this is what the code is doing. Is that clear? So all those things are at the top part of the code, and the ones that have hash include with all this greater than and less than around them, those are called the preprocessor directives. The next one is the global variables. Now, with the global variables, as you read in the book, variables are things that keep what? Changing, okay? So if you take, for example, the robot we are making, the robot will be detecting both light and then darkness. And we can have a variable called light status or lighting status. And that lighting status can either change from darkness to light or light to what? Darkness. The moment it varies from one state to the other, it is a what? A variable. Understood? So in C programming, we will be coming across 3 main types of variables. The first one is the int, second one is the char, third one is the float. The integer is used for rational numbers. The character is used for alphabets like A, B, C, D. And then the float is used for decimal numbers, 0.0012, 0.1123. All right, good. Now, the reason I said they are global variables is because they will be available within your code. Everywhere in the code, they will be available. So these guys are like international variables. Everywhere in the world, they can be used. Understood? So you can have, for example, int k. The k is the name of the variable, and the int at the beginning is the type of variable it is. Understood? Now, whenever you write a statement in C, you must end it with a full stop. And the full stop that we use in C is the semicolon. Understood? Every sentence you write, there must be a semicolon at the end. If you ignore it, you get an error. All right? Now, the same variable k can be declared, and a value of 20 will be assigned to it. The process of declaring a variable and assigning a value to it is called initialization of the variable. Understood? So I will say that I have declared k and I've initialized it to what? 20. All right? I've declared a variable age and I have initialized it to 30. I've initialized the variable p and that variable is 3.14. All right? So you can have multiple variables if they are of the same type on one line. You can have k, you can have x, you can have what? P. All you have to do is to separate them with what? A comma. Is that clear? Once you separate them with a comma, you can choose to initialize some of them or not initialize some of them. All right? You can also have a variable called what? K, which is a character. Okay? So there's a character in my name T. And if I want to hold T in a variable, I can say car T, car K is equal to what? T. All right? And then we can have another variable called K, but that variable is a what? A float. Or it is a 0.00 something, a number that looks something like that. Okay? Now, when you come to your main function, just like we did with the sending somebody to the market or asking somebody to open the door, the main function is where all the instructions that you can run will be running from. Is that clear? That is where every single instruction will run from. So if you look at the main I have here, it will first declare and then initialize local variables. These local variables are confined to just this main function. Okay. And then you cannot use them outside the main function. And then you have the first statement, which is stand up, second statement, go to the door, third statement, open the door. Fourth statement can be if you find a wall, move to one direction. If you don't find a wall, move to the other direction. So that can be written in the form of a function. And then that function can be called in the main function. All right. When we start working on it, you'll be able to see how all of this can be implemented. So I also declared another function down here, and I am calling this function Adetula. Last time I wanted to name some file Osai, and Adetula said I should name it after him. So this function is called Adetula. Adetula, can I see your face? I know he will not be in class.
I'm in class, sir.
All right, so this function is named after you, okay? So you can have a function called what? Adetula, and then this function, its job is to be stubborn, okay? So you have a statement 1, be stubborn, statement 2, be stubborn. And you can have another local variable inside this Adetula function. And the local variable can be int stubborn is equal to 1, int stubborn 2 is equal to that in that order. Okay, Adetula, I hope you are not stubborn.
I'm not.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
Please, I'm just making an example. All right, so so you can have this function and then you can call that function inside the main function. Now, if you don't call this function inside the main function, this Adetula will never get executed because every single thing that you want to be executed by your computer must be inside the main. Is it understood?
Yes, sir.
The floor is open now. If you have some questions, you can ask. If I said something that didn't make sense to you, just tell me, I'll go over it again. We start with Adim.
Yes, sir. I really didn't get the concept of the last uh, block, which is the other
Function.
functions. Like
Okay,
I
I'll
did
go
not
back.
get the concept. Yes.
Over it again. Alfred.
Sir, with the float,
Mm-hmm.
with the float, if you have something like 7.0,
Mm-hmm.
should you put it in float or in int?
The moment there is 7 point something, it has to be a float.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. You can actually use int. Linda.
Okay.
Hello, Linda. Okay, I think Linda's microphone is refused to unmute. Mohammed.
Sir, I wanted to know if the char data type can, I know it just stores one character, but in case you want to store several characters, let's say a group of words,
You
can
use
you?
something called character array.
Oh, okay.
Another name for character array is string.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. I see, I saw. Looks like, okay. Looks like the person is having issues with the audio. Okay, so let's move on. So whatever we have done presented here, I'm now coming to show you in the form of a code, all right? So I'll stop sharing this screen and then share my browser interface. Please, can you see my browser interface?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please.
Fantastic. So I'm going to clear everything from the screen. You can also repeat the same thing. And then the next thing I'll do is to come to this top corner and then select the language C. Select the language C. FBI.
Sir, please, how do you clear everything from the thing?
You just do Control A and then you do backspace.
Thank you.
Are you FBI? Can we move on, please?
Yes, please.
All right, so let's go to the first block. The first block is preprocessor directives, correct? So before you can begin writing any code, it is good that you write the name of the writer of the code, and then you write some few information about your code, okay? So let's do that. Let's say we are coming to write a code to calculate simple interest for us. So we can type, we can just type this code calculates simple interest and displays the results. Okay, so let's run this code and see what would happen. So you will get some plenty errors in the output box, all right? The reason is because the compiler is reading this as a code, all right? Even though this is what? An English language. Is that clear? So what do we do so that we declare that this is just English language and the compiler will ignore it? you can either choose to have what, 2 bars in front of it, or you can use another combination like this, a forward slash followed by a star. I hope that's the spelling of Atta. So you can use the star followed by another forward slash like this. So you can write comments in your code by using either 2 forward slashes, or you can use 1 forward slash followed by star followed by another forward slash. Is that cool? Any questions about comments? Good. Now, we want to use another function which we are not coming to write. And that function will print out our simple interest for us. Okay, so the name of the library in which the function we are coming to use, which is printf, is located, is called stdio.h. It is a library that comes pre-packaged with C. Okay, so we want to include that in our code as our preprocessor directive. Is that clear? So that's the basket from which we are going to pick different functions from. So you go like hash include, and then you come with less than symbol, and then you type stdio.h followed by the greater than symbol. I hope that is cool. Now, the next thing that we are coming to do is we need to have our main. So our main function, you have to type it in this format. You go like int followed by main, and then anytime you are writing a function, just after the name of the function, you must have 2 brackets like this. And then after these 2 brackets, you need 2 curly brackets, one opening curly bracket like this, and another closing curly bracket like that. I see some questions in the chat box. First question from Kate. I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name very well. It says, so C and Java use the same syntax? No, they use different syntax, but some things are similar. Sir, are you making a comment now? Yes, please. Which ID is this? We are using online GDB. All right. So at this stage, you can either press F9 on your keyboard or you press run, and then your code will run for you. When your code runs successfully, you will see this green thing here, program finished with exit code 0. Okay, program has finished successfully with exit code 0. Now, the first thing we are going to do is to do the first thing that every program does. So let's print something, hello world or something else. All right, so you can type printf, followed by a bracket like this. And then anytime you want to print some sentence or some phrases, you need to have double quotation marks like this. All right, and then you can type hello world, full stop, my name is Nicholas. And then when I am done with this statement, I need to put a full stop at the end. But full stop in programming is what? Semicolon. All right. So when you are done with this like this, all you have to do is to press on run and see what happens. So the output says, hello world, my name is what? Nicholas. So kindly try this on your screen. And when you are done, you raise your hand. Kezia is asking, are these steps constant in all programs in C? Yes, please. All the time, you have to do this. Okay, 8 people have finished. Okay, so let me scroll down and find those who haven't finished and call them to show me their screens. Even if you raise your hand, I can call you, so don't worry.
Say,
Hi.
say please, when I'm running my this one, the code, the program, it's they're saying no fatal error studio.h, no such file or directory. Compilation terminated. Yeah.
Fatal error, meaning your computer will die tomorrow. So share your screen with me. Let's see what you are doing.
Okay. So can you see it?
Not yet.
No, it's on my video. No, I'm not sharing it.
I'm scrolling through.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see your code. We didn't type studio. We typed stdio, standard input output, not the one that you can go and record the music in.
Okay. Thank you.
FBI, can I see your screen?
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
How did you select language you want to use?
At the top right corner, there's a box there, languages. You drop down and then you select C.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So FBI, run your code, let me see. All right, that's fantastic. You can stop sharing. I'm trying to scroll. Messi, can I see your screen? So run it, let me see. Fantastic. Eto, please, you said you are lost. Can I see your screen, please? So please, where are you lost?
At the hashtag, please. I can't, when I do hashtag.
So come down under the writer. Look, go to author. You see the semicolon you put at the end of author?
Yes.
You have to remove that. And then remove the asterisk. Put the asterisk before the /. Fantastic. That is what makes it a comment.
Okay.
Have you seen that it has changed now? Now come forward. Enter. Now write hashtag, that's hash include.
Yeah, the hashtag doesn't come. It gives me a pound sign.
It gives you a pound sign. Press shift 3, let me see. That's shift 3.
Yeah.
Press shift 8, let me see. Okay. Press shift, the key after your semicolon. Press the one above that.
Mr. Nicholas,
Yeah.
I think if he tries the one backspace.
Okay, so copy the hash from the chat box and then use it.
Oh, okay.
Please give him like 1 minute. Let me just help him out so that.
Okay.
So include. Can you find the less than and the greater than?
Yes.
Correct. stdio .h. Fantastic. And then you come down, enter, type main, type int main. Followed by a bracket. The bracket should come, there should be no space in between the bracket and then the main. The normal bracket, not parentheses, normal bracket. Yeah, the one above the 9, shift 9. Correct. And then you come, now you get out of the bracket. Now you can bring the curly bracket, one curly bracket. And then bring another curly bracket at the end of the semicolon. Correct. Now you can run. Just.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so Roger Osai, can I see your screen?
Yes, sir. Sir, please can you see my screen?
Run it, let me see.
Okay.
But your name is not Nicholas. Adim, I was about to call you. Next time you have to use your computer. Is that clear? All right, so let's move on. Okay. So can I see your, and I want to see your screen. So Anna, I see a number of problems. Problem number 1, you changed the language to SQLite, change the language to C. Correct. Now problem number 2, there's supposed to be a semicolon at the end of my name is Efriye. You see the bracket after that? You haven't ended it. Ryan, we are using C. We are not using C++. So now you can run it and see. Fantastic.
Thank you.
All right, who else is having a problem?
Hello, sir, I have a question.
Please feel free to ask.
Hello, sir.
Hi.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah, please ask.
Okay, so with the int main, then brackets, could you put void into the brackets?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
I will explain all of those things as we are moving on.
Thank you.
All right, so can I move on? Anybody having some challenge? Samuel Adetula, can I see your screen? Hello, Samuel, are you around? Okay, so let's move on. So I'll share my screen once more. I hope you can all see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So now we are coming to write a code that calculates and displays simple interest, okay? So if you remember the formula for simple interest, who can tell me?
Sammy.
Yeah, you can, feel free.
Simple interest is equal to principal times rate times time.
Please take it easy for me.
Principal
is equal to what?
Principal times rate
times the rate
times time.
Okay, so let's say time. Times rate. Now,
so why did you do that?
Why did I do? I changed.
Yeah, why?
I wanted to keep it like this for some reason. You get to know when I am done. Now,
okay.
This word time, is time a keyword or it is not a keyword? Who can check for us? So time is not a keyword, but I wouldn't like us to use it because for a lot of languages, time is a keyword, all right? So let's change the time here to year, okay? Year. So now our formula becomes what? Simple interest is equal to what? Principal times year times what? Rate. And the rate normally is divided by what? 100. Do you all understand? So from the formula here, what it means is we are going to be declaring 4 variables. We need to calculate simple interest. So we don't know what the simple interest is going to be, but we know the we will know the principal, we will know the number of years, and we also know the rate, okay? So we need to come down below the preprocessor directive and then declare the variables that we need, all right? So we will have int. The first one will be what? Principal. And then after declaring principal, we want to initialize it. So let's say the principal is 100,000, whatever currency you want to use. After that, you follow it with what? Semicolon. Let's have another variable int, and then that will be the year. And then the person is going to take the loan for 2 years. So we do int year equals 2, followed by semicolon. And the third variable will be the rate. So let's call that one int rate. And then the rate is going to be 10%. So we end that also with what? Semicolon. And the last variable we are going to declare is int simple interest, followed by semicolon. So let me run this code and see what would happen. So there is an error here. It says what? Expected something something before interest. So the reason we got this error is because whenever you are declaring a variable, your variable must be what? one single word. Is that clear? It must be what? One single word with no space in the middle. Also, your variable must not be more than 31 characters. Is that clear? Your variable must be a single word, and then your variable should not be more than 31 characters. So let's compile our code once more, and then we are done. So now we are going to bring the formula for our computation inside the main. We have finished declaring the variables, and we want the main to do the calculation for us. So we are coming into the main, and then we will type simple interest is equal to principal. And then for multiplication, we are going to use asterisks. Okay, so in C programming, we have asterisks or plus or hyphen, which is minus, or / representing multiplication, addition, subtraction, and then division, respectively. Okay, so if you want to multiply something with something, principal star something. You want to divide principal with something, principal / something. You want to subtract principal something from principal, you go principal hyphen something. And the last one is addition. You just use the normal addition. So once again, the star, the minus, the / and then the last one, they are called operators. They are called operators. There are other types of operators. We will discuss them as we move on with the course. So you are going to be having principal times. The next thing will be the year, right? So we type the year, and then we are going to multiply that with the rate, and then we are going to divide that with 100. So this is the end of our formula. So we have to end it with a what? A semicolon to tell the code that that is the end of our sentence. Is that clear? So let's run it and see what would happen. So you click on run, and then it will just tell you, hello world, my E, Nicholas. So let us display the simple interest that we have calculated. Okay, so we will still just use the printf. So we can just type something like this, printf simple interest. All right, so let me run it and see what would happen. Okay, so I got some warnings, and it says segmentation fault, main warning, something, 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 something. All right, so what this simply means is I cannot just do printf and then type in simple interest like this. I have to do something else because printf will not accept what I am trying to do over here. So what I'll do is I'll bring two quotation marks followed by %D, and then after that I'll bring a comma here like that. All right, and then I'll run it. Let's see what would happen. All right, so you can see that my compiler has posted 20,000 as the interest rate. And I'm sure you'll be wondering what I just did. Let me explain myself. So the %D that you have here is called a placeholder. It is called a placeholder. A placeholder is something you can use as a substitute for something else, okay? Or something that can be in place of another thing, okay? So the %D here simply means that we want to print an integer, and the name of the integer is what? Simple interest, okay? So printf normally prints things inside what? These quotation marks, but you cannot give it the variable name directly. You have to use a placeholder. Is that clear? So you can go like this. The simple interest is followed by space, and then when you run it, you get this thing at the output. The simple interest is 20,000. Is that clear? Good. So I would like you to try this one for me to see on your computers. When you are done, you raise your hand. Let's see how you are going about it. If you have some difficulties, you don't understand what I just said, you can equally draw my attention and I'll go over it once more.
Sir.
Hi, Kelvin.
Yeah, please. Having an issue. Can I share my screen?
Sure. Hold on. Let me disable mine.
Okay.
You can share your screen, please. Okay. So run it. Let's see.
When I run it, this is what happens.
I think the rate having a semicolon there.
The rate is having a colon instead of a semicolon. Are the declarations?
Okay.
Instead of a semicolon, you have a colon. Can you see it? Declaration, int, rate. At the end of it, int, rate.
Okay.
So change that to semi. Fantastic.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Ryan, can I see your screen, please? Yes, please. I mentioned your name.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, can I see your screen?
So can you see?
Yes. So run it. Let's see.
Yeah, I just ran it and I got some errors.
So what do you think is the problem?
I'm not too sure. I was just going through it. I think
Can you bring that curly bracket down? Let's see. The curly bracket, bring it down to the next line. The one that ended it. No, scroll up a little, let me see. Okay, so have you seen your simple interest in the printf?
yeah.
You had an underscore between the simple and the interest. Where is it at the printf? Fantastic.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Edem Blebu. Can I see your screen?
Okay, I'm coming.
Kasonde Nanyangwe, you are next.
I've done it on my laptop, but I'm using my phone for class.
So you can enable the video on the phone and then let me see how you are doing it.
Okay.
You can just enable your video and I'll watch it from the gallery.
All right.
So then, can you run your code? Let me see. Fantastic. All right, so let me see I'm watching for the video, Kasonde. Does he run it? Let me see. All right, fantastic. Jonathan Kashambira, can I see your screen?
Yes, sir. Oh. Yeah, it is.
All right, that's fantastic. Okay, so let's move on. You can drop your hands if you don't have a question. All right, Jadis, I will answer you shortly. Okay, so the next activity we are coming to do is can you please see my screen?
Yes, please.
All right, so we are coming to print all the variables that we have here on the screen, okay? So I'll do something like this. I'll go printf, followed by a bracket, and then I'll bring my two quotation marks, and then I'll go the loan was assessed for, and then I'll bring percentage D, followed by years, followed by full stop, and then I'll bring a comma here, and then type year, okay? So I want to just print every information about the loan that was taken and then the interest that was accrued onto it. So let me run it for you to see what will happen. All right, so it now says the simple interest is what? 20,000, and the loan was assessed for 2 years. You can see that I have now brought 2 into the middle of this statement. Is that clear? Now, I don't want the 2 sentences to be on the same line. So I want all of them to come on different lines. So I can do backslash followed by N, and then run my code and see what would happen. So the backslash followed by N in C is used to represent new line, not forward slash, backslash followed by what? N. When it sees that in your code, it will jump to the next line. Is that clear? So if I want to come down again, I can do another backslash followed by N, and it will come down to the next line for me. And then I can type printf, and then in the bracket, I'll say my 2 double quotation marks, and then I'll say the interest rate was, then I'll bring percentage D to represent the rate, percent per annum, okay? And then I'll bring a comma followed by the variable rate. And then I won't forget my semicolon. So you can do the same thing I have done here and then print all the 4 different informations that I have posted over here. When you are done, you can raise your hand and then I'll see your screen. So let me run my code for you to see what would happen. So I have my first line. The simple interest is what? 20,000. The loan was assessed for 2 years. And then on the next line, the interest rate was 10% per annum. All right. So print the principal as well for me to see. So you can raise your hand once you are done. Ryan, you are going to print the principal. All right, so Kevin, can I see your screen? Kevin Kutoku. Let me just see how you are going about it.
Yeah, okay. I missed the last step.
Yeah, let's see your screen and then we can help.
Okay. So I didn't get the last part of this. Can you see my screen?
Yes, please.
After I didn't know I was supposed to type.
You're supposed to type comma followed by rate. Correct. Now I want you to now the principal.
Okay. Oh. Principals. Okay, so the backslash.
No, you can put it at the end of annum.
Oh, okay.
That's the new line. The new line should come after annum.
Okay.
Omar Bashir, can I see your screen? Yeah, Umar. All right, cool. But I think you didn't position the new line at the right.
Yeah, I didn't put a new line at the right place.
Wendy Osei, can I see your screen? Hi, Wendy.
Next time he call me, I'll be telling you pussy. You want the talk for the classes because you feel like you're not participating.
Hello.
Please, your mic is on.
Yeah, hi, Wendy.
So please, I just joined the class, so I don't really understand what's going on.
All right, Samuel Adetula. Can we see your screen, please, Samuel? This is the second time I called Samuel and he never replied. Kwame Ode.
There.
Yes.
Don't see my screen. Sharing. I think this is my screen.
Okay. Fantastic. I like that. That's very creative of you. Derek, can I see your screen, please? Derek, can I see your screen?
Yeah, I'm coming.
Patrick, you'll be next. Patrick Chumurov.
Okay.
You can share your screen, and when you are working on it, we can see it.
I'm using my phone in class, so you didn't see it.
So like I should look for your video, right?
Yes, please.
So I'm now looking for your video. Okay. Show me the bottom part. Fantastic.
Can you see?
Yeah, I can see it now.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mentioned somebody to show me his or her screen. Patrick.
Okay, I'm here. Well,
can I see your screen?
I went offline because of my internet. I'm just rejoining now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is where I was.
So run it, let me see. Fantastic. Nana Kwabena Boachi.
Hello. I'm showing my screen.
Yeah. Fantastic. Good. All right. So looks like a lot of you have done some good work. Now let us learn how to write functions. Okay, let's learn how to write functions. Please, what time is this class supposed to end?
4:30.
4:30. So we have 10 minutes, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. I think we've gone ahead of the other class. So if you want to write another function, you can begin your function with something we call the return type of the function. Okay. So you can have, for example, int followed by the name of the function, which can be Adetula. But since Adetula is missing
Please, we
it,
can't see your screen.
oh, I'm so sorry. Let me share it properly. Okay, can you see my screen now?
Yes, please.
Please, what's the name of the person who said you can't see my screen? Spell it for me.
ANNA.
Uh-huh. I think
Ifri.
Anna Ifri, right?
Yes.
So let's say the name of our function is what? Anna. So at the beginning of the function, you have to specify the return type of the function. So if you are writing a function, it is supposed to return something to you or give you some result. Is that clear? So if your function is designed to give you some result, you have to specify the type of result it will give you. But if it will give you no result, just type void and then Anna. Now, after the Anna, the first thing that you have to bring is your bracket, like the way we did for the main. Is that clear? And then after that, you bring your two curly brackets. And then that is the end of your function. Is that clear? So you can type something in here as well. You can go printf, and then you bring your brackets like we did. This function is called Anna, okay? And then you bring your semicolon. And when you are done, you run it. So when you run it, you won't see anything about this function in the output unless you call this function in the main. Now, if you want to call this function, all you have to do is to come to the point in your main where you want to call it. And then you just call it like this. You just type Anna followed by the brackets that you included earlier, followed by semicolon. This way, you have called the function you have created Anna. Let me repeat. If you want to call the function you have created, you just mention the name of the function, followed by the brackets, followed by the semicolon, and then you are done calling the function. So let us run our code and see. So at the end of the code, you notice that we have what? The simple interest is 20,000. The loan was assessed for 2 years. The interest rate was 10% per annum. The principal was 100,000. This function is called Anna. So I can add a new line to this one so that the output can be formatted well for me. Good. So you can now see all the 5 sentences have been included in our code. So to recap everything that we have said in this short tutorial, if you want to start any code, it is good that you write some information about the code, the writer of the code, and any information somebody reading your code will be able to know. And to do that, you use what? Comments. And I mentioned there are 2 ways you can comment in C. The first one is to use the 2//. Second one is to use / followed by star, followed by the number of things you want to write, followed by another star, and then followed by another /. And then the next thing that comes is the preprocessor directives. And then so think of the preprocessor directives as a library. And then from that library, you can be able to call some functions that you haven't written in this code, but they are external to the code. So after including them, it's now time to declare global variables. After declaring your global variables, the next thing you do is to write your main function. And I said your main function should have some return type. By default, it returns an integer. And then if you type the main, follow it with a bracket like this. Some people prefer to type void in this bracket. All right. but you don't need to do it. And then after that, your main is followed by what? 2 curly brackets, the opening curly bracket, the closing curly bracket. And whatever command you write in between the 2 curly brackets is going to be executed for you by the computer running the code. Now, if you have an external function, you can write the return type of the function, followed by the name of the function, followed by these brackets, followed by 2 curly brackets, and then you can put the commands that you have inside the function. I believe it is very clear. Any questions? If you have some question, you can raise your hand. If your hand is already raised, you can drop it.
Chef.
Hi.
Please, could you share your screen one more time so I can get the last one?
Oh, so you're copying my screen?
No, I was just taking some notes.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you.
Is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
Good, fantastic. So please, any questions for me? I see 4 hands up. David. Al Hassan?
Yeah, Nicholas, this is a mistake. I was raising my answer from the completion of the.
Okay. Al Hassan, do you have a question?
Oh no, like it was from the previous.
Okay, so as I always do, if there are no questions from you, I can ask you questions, correct? So Al Hassan, since you were the last person who spoke, can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
So what's the maximum number of characters you can have in a variable? Like the name of the variable?
30.
Pardon me?
Like, I think it's 20.
It's 31. So if you are declaring a variable, the name can be long, but it should not be more than 31 characters. Is that clear?
Oh, okay. Okay.
Now, I did not say this. The placeholder, whenever you use %d is for integers. If you know that the number you want to write is a decimal, you use what? %f. And if it is a character, you use %c. So kindly note that we have only used %d in our code. So once again, %c for characters, %f for decimal numbers, %d for integers. Is that cool? Okay. FBI.
Say please, they are saying something about warning implicit declaration of function, conflicting types.
Don't worry. Next time we meet, I will address all of that.
Yes, sir.
So if I want to address it right now, this is all that you have to do. You see the name of the function?
Yeah.
Copy the name of the function and come and paste it here like this. And then you type, you do something like.
Okay.
So when you do this at the beginning of your code, what I have done here is called a function prototype. A function prototype. So when I run it again, you notice that that warning is gone. Have you seen that?
Said ish. You're saying okay.
So copy everything here. You see the void Anna. Just copy all with the brackets, paste it at the top under the global variables. Put a semicolon at the end. So when you do that, what you are doing is called a function prototype. You need to tell the compiler what functions you are going to be calling before the compiler begins to run. If you don't tell it ahead, it means that you are implying that you are calling some function. So that is the implicit. You are just implying it. You didn't tell the compiler. Is it clear?
Say it has come now. Yeah.
All right. So 3 more hands are up. Abuaji.
Yes, sir. So I have a question from the book. Usually, sometimes they add RS then full stop, capital RS then full stop.
They
So
add
is
capital
it
RS then full stop.
yes, especially in the print function. So I want to know what that means.
RRS.
Capital R, small s, then full stop.
That's the currency of India.
Oh, okay.
Rupees.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Bright.
Sir, I wanted to know whether we could use %i in place of %d as a placeholder for integers.
You can check inside the book and see if that is possible.
I think I tried it worked.
Okay, I haven't used percentage I before. And I need to look at the documentation before.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Excuse me, sir.
Hi, please feel free.
I'm getting some warnings after running my code, but I'm getting the answers, but then some.
Let's see the warning.
I'll just turn on my camera.
Okay, so let me see. I'm trying to see the error, but I am unable to see it. Unless if you email me the code, I can be able to tell you what the error is.
Yes, I think it was like the initial one, like the one you committed. He has not defined the function prototype at the top.
Yeah, but then there's another error. Implicit comes with just one error. There's another error. There are two errors before the implicit one. You can just go back in steps where you were coming from and then continue it and see. So I will encourage you to play around the code and then just try as many examples as you can. And once again, for this week, continue reading the book I asked you to read. There's so much information in the book, all right? In the absence of further questions, Bryce, do you have a question?
No, sir, sorry, it's from before.
Sir, I have a question.
Okay, feel free to ask.
No, it's not like question, but it's about the post-lab assignment. I thought the submission day was today, but it says it's locked today.
It's today. I told you Monday. Sorry, today is Tuesday, right? It was yesterday.
Yeah, I wasn't able to upload it, so can you please reopen it?
It has been reopened. You can upload it right away.
It's been reopened?
Yes, please.
Oh, thank you very much.
Okay. And for those who haven't submitted it, it has been reopened. You can upload it now.
Sir.
Hi. Why can't you just call me Nick Furious? I'm Nick Furious. I'll box you.
Oh, Mr. Nick. I sent you an email. Like, I was facing some challenges. I saved my files, but then, like, as I was about to submit, I checked, like, opening the files, they weren't opening. I don't know what had happened. So I sent you an email, but I've not seen any reply. But I sent you everything, like I uploaded everything.
Okay, so it's open now. You can upload it. I think I forwarded it to the FI.
Okay, the thing is, I don't know what to say, but I took the screenshots of my work, but the actual files weren't opening. So I couldn't like see the actual circuit, but then I had the screenshots already. Then the files, I don't know what happened to the files.
The Proteus or the Q Electrotech?
Yes, yeah, the Q Electrotech and the Proteus files.
You can uninstall it and then reinstall it.
So I should redo the work.
You can redo it and then submit it today.
Oh, please.
Come on, it's an easy work. Do it. All right, so
I won't be able to do it. But maybe Maybe later in the week, but I won't be sure because we have